Yay. All right, there we go. We are all set. Oh, the lighting is not that good. It's early evening. It's my first time to do an evening recording, so still playing around with how to improve the lighting. And my son is making faces at me there. This is interesting. This is nice. I'm feeling so hot. It's hot in Bulawayo. It's changing hot, cold, and blah, 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 blah. All right. So here we are. We are going to be talking about, as you saw on the title there, are you going to roll the dice for 2018? Or are you going to map out a path or map out a plan that you are going to follow? That's what we are going to talk about today. And I have a very special invitation for you at the end. So just listen in until the end, because that special invitation is going to help you. It's going to show you how we can work together in putting together a plan that we can execute in 2018, as opposed to rolling the dice and leaving everything to chance in terms of how your year is going to turn out. It's the end of year, and if I recall from my days when I was in formal employment, even now, right now, I've just come out of my own personal strategic plan session, and many people who are watching this, who are in full-time employment, have just been going or are going through a strategic planning session for their work at their workplaces and so on. But very few people take time out to make a personal strategic plan. So we are going to be talking about that today, because each one of us, wherever we are in our spheres, we are leaders. So being leaders in the different areas of life that we are in, we need to know where we are going so that we can be able to lead those who are following us. And the best way of leading is to lead yourself before you lead others, right? So the only way you can be able to lead yourself is if you've got a plan in place. So take the time out, to plan, to set your goals for the year, and what we are going to talk about today is how you can be able to set those goals for yourself. What is the process that you have to go through in order for you to go through your strategic, planning? So we want to look at your long-term plans as well as, your short-term plans. What is it that you are planning for the immediate future? What is it that you are planning for the long-term future? Can an individual have a 3 to 5 year plan like an organization? I believe so, because each one of us in our own right, we are entities and we are organizations. Whether we like it or not, our families are organizations that need to have a strategic direction that they are going in. I was just reading for the second time now the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it is talking a lot at the beginning about starting with the end in mind and mapping and putting out a vision of where you want to go. Not only as organizations, as in like corporates, but also as in organizations, as in families. Families should have strategic statements, strategic vision statement or vision statements that they live by. As individuals, each person is supposed to have their own, strategic plan as well. All right, so how do you get started with that, right? So what's important is that, you understand the immediate things that you must do for you to get to the long-term goals. But where is the starting point? Do I start here or do I start there? So I think what's important is to start there and then come backwards, looking at the different milestones that you have to reach in order for you to be able to fulfill that long-term plan. So start with your 3 to 5 year plan. Start with your vision of where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And then keep bringing it closer and closer to your medium-term goals, to your short-term goals, and to your daily activity plan. So that is what I have been doing for myself, leading towards the end of this year. And what are the areas of planning that you have to do? Obviously, you are not just saying, a broad statement. Yes, you may have that broad statement of where you want to be, but at the end of the day, what is important is that you understand the different areas of your life that you want to plan for, and plan for those areas of life, right? So your spirituality is very important, I believe. So area number one that you should be planning for is your spirituality. How do you plan to enhance? Where do you see yourself spiritually? How are you planning to grow yourself spiritually? What are the daily activities that you're going to be doing for you to be able to grow spiritually? So that is a very important area. Start with where you want to see yourself. Well, for us Christians, really, we should be thinking in terms of eternity, or those who believe in an afterlife, thinking about, I'm sure you prepare for that afterlife while you are still in this life. It doesn't happen when you are on the other side. All right, but let's prepare with eternity in mind. But obviously, to think that far is almost impossible. So think about, in the next 3 to 5 years, or even just by the end of the year, where do I want to see myself in my spiritual health? And then there is also your physical health as well as your social health. I'm not bringing these in any particular order. The priorities in terms of how it is. For example, I might at the moment be in a situation where my business is of priority in terms of where I want to take it and where I want it to go. But it doesn't mean that I should ignore all the other areas. But I will put it at the top in terms of how I prioritize it and balance out everything else, accordingly. So for you, where do you stand in terms of your spirituality, in terms of your physical health, in terms of your social activities as well? So those are the things that you need to be planning for. And then, of course, your family relationships as well. Where do they fit in? How are you going to manage your family relationships in view of everything else that you're supposed to be doing? How are you going to be planning for the quality time that you need to spend with your family? So all these are important aspects that we need to take into account, so that at the end of it all, we meet and accomplish those goals in all those areas of life. So the first area of life, the first two that we have looked at are your spirituality, in terms of your, sorry, I used the wrong finger. All right, this is your spiritual health, and then your physical health, as well as your social socialization as well. How are you going to plan for that? And then also it's important to plan for your family relationships. So those are the 3 areas that we have looked at. The 4th area that you also are going to be planning for is your business, your career, or your financial. I'll bundle all those into one, because they all culminate in the financial outcomes or the financial outputs that we want to see. So your business also needs to be planned for. Your career path, if you are in your business is your career, right? It depends whether you are in employment or you are running your own business. That's your career path. So you need to also plan for that. And then, of course, there's your community roles, your roles in the community. You are also somebody who interacts at church. You are somebody who is needed in community activities. What are you planning? How are you planning to contribute in that area? So all that is important. And as we are talking about all these aspects of our individual lives, we are going to come to a point where we are going to break it down to the nitty-gritties of each area, right? Each area that you are supposed to be planning for, or that you are going to be planning for in your life. For example, in terms of your finances, what savings plans are you putting in place? If you need to have a savings plan, you need to have an investment plan, you need to have if you are in debt, you need to have a plan of how to clear your debt. Let 2018 be the year that your debt is going to be cleared once and for all. How are you going? You need to be consciously plan for that as well. Things that you plan to buy, for yourself, for your family, you need to be clear about all of that, because that will come into your business and financial planning as well. In terms of your socialization, you could be thinking about, maybe retreats, that you can do as a family, personal retreats that you're going to partake in to recharge your batteries. All those are things that you need to plan for, because they all take time and they all require resources. And unless you plan for them, there's no way that they're going to happen. Are you planning to go on holiday with your family? So your travels also, know the destinations, plan for the destinations that you want to go to. Dream as big as you want to. Because at the end of the day, it is up to you to make sure that those dreams are fulfilled. So, plan for all of those things. That's part of your socialization. And then also in terms of your community roles, how much giving are you planning to do? We are not only talking money, right? How much money, yes, are you going to give to the community, to your church? How much time are you going to give in terms of your skills and resources? How much are you going to give voluntarily without expecting any payment or remuneration? Voluntary services, voluntary activities that you're going to participate in. So you need to plan for all of those things. So like I said, the degrees of priority that you're going to give are based on where you are in that particular area of your life and where you want to go. That's how you are going to apportion your time in terms of, and also all other resources as well that are associated with that. So we are going to go deeper, to dig a little deeper. So this is where now I'm inviting you, to say, if you really want to go deeper and, really break it down and put it down and take all the details, because obviously it's not possible. This is just a teaser for you to start thinking about these things and start seeing how you can be able to implement them. But what I'm going to do is on Tuesday evening, which is at 9 p.m. Central Africa time, which is Harare, Johannesburg time, I'm going to be doing a webinar. It's a free webinar that I'm going to do online, and it's going to touch in a deeper level, at a deeper level now, in terms of how we can plan for an epic 2018, so that we don't leave anything to chance, but we put things down and, we make sure that whatever it is that is going on in our lives is planned for in 2018. So it's going to be an epic time. I'm planning for it. I've put the materials together, that are going to help us, which I have been personally implementing. So it's not something that I'm just going to be talking to you from the top of my head. I'm going to be extracting some of the things that I have personally planned for myself, for 2018, and helping you to put that, to use that as a framework on which you can also start planning for yourself for an amazing 2018. So we are going to dig deep. Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Africa time. If you are interested in being part of that webinar, just go below this video. There's going to be a link that will allow you to register for that webinar on Tuesday. Just put in your email address and the details that will be requested for on the registration form. And once you have done that, you are definitely going to be part, of an exciting experience, that I'm going to be sharing with you and helping you, to plan for an amazing 2018. For some of you, it's something that you've never done before. I've attempted to do it several times before, but this time around, I've really gone a little deeper than what I've normally done before, and it's been quite an exciting experience for myself as well. So hopefully you too are going to enjoy that, and you are going to get the benefits and the value of being part of that webinar. Remember, it's a free webinar, so just put in your email address and make sure that you are registered. You'll get the details of how to join the webinar at 9 p.m. On Tuesday. So I look forward to seeing you there on Tuesday. Nobody will know that you've registered. Even if you click on the link, it's still anonymous. If you don't want people to know, that's how it's gonna be. Even when we are doing the webinar itself, I'm not going to broadcast who is on the webinar. There'll be no attendance list that is showing for people to see who is there. So be as comfortable and as free as you want to be, so that you can participate in this And who knows what 2018 will bring for you with this blueprint that you're going to go into the year with. So waste no time. On the link below this video that I'm going to post as soon as the video is up, make sure that you click on that link, register yourself, and I'll see you on Tuesday on the webinar when we dig a little deeper into how to plan for 2018. Have a brilliant evening, brilliant morning, wherever you are. God bless you.